What is up, fanboys and fangirls? Welcome back to another episode of the What the Fanboy Show. JT in the chat already. I appreciate it.
He's here to be contrarian, he says.
Oh, contrarian. I appreciate that. Guys.
Yes.
We all survived week
Yes.
2 of storms attacking our town.
Yeah.
How was your...
Yeah.
I'm setting this up because Tyler and I we did some weightlifting yesterday.
That's what we'll call it. My shins are all cut up. I'm finding like cuts on my hands I didn't know I had.
Yeah.
Use hand sanitizer and I was like, oh yeah, there's more in there than I thought.
Ouch.
Yeah, we survived it. I was very fortunate to not lose my privacy fence. Had a large branch above another branch break and they both came down on my fence. I sent a picture to you guys and I sent like a Snapchat to my brother and a couple other friends and family members and I just put Happy Sunday
Yeah.
in it and my brother was like on my way. It's like nice. So luckily, in the neighborhood I live in, I've not met a ton of my neighbors. Like there's been a handful, but multiple neighbors came out to see if we needed help.
Yeah. Which is nice.
Yeah, one kind of catty corner behind my house, his name's Chase. If you ever tune in or hear this episode, shout out Chase. Had a pole saw, came over and helped me cut down a bunch of stuff so that the tree branch didn't fall on my neighbor's house, which was really nice.
Yeah.
And then obviously Brett came by and Bruce brought the truck down and we were able to haul away quite a bit of stuff. So that was super helpful. I got the slats in the fence replaced today. So just
Glad I could help.
Luke was giving us motivational encouragement, right?
That's right.
I said free firewood. That's all I said.
You sent good vibes.
Oh yeah, I wanted to make sure everybody was okay first. Then I could make the free firewood joke.
Yeah. So, but no, we're good. Other than that, there's pretty minimal stuff. Yeah, survived. That's a good way to put it. I'm pretty tired today, though. Just been out in the sun for 2 days, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, obviously I'm fine, but it's not my ideal way to spend a long weekend.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Out doing yard work, but here we are.
Hey,
So,
here we are.
you had one branch down?
Yeah, we had a couple. One fell all the way. There was like 2 more that were still stuck in the tree. I had to
Pull down.
pull down. So
Yeah.
I got the big ladder out when no one else was home, so that was real smart.
Yeah, that's good.
But look, everyone's like, Stephanie and my mom are both like, we hate it when you do that. I'm like, all right, I'll do it when you're not around. You don't have to be nervous. You just don't know about it.
That's the way to do it. But yeah, no, survived it. Yeah. Life goes on.
May in Kansas, which
That's right.
just means...
I didn't even know it was storming.
Yeah, because you said you had headphones on, didn't you?
Yeah, I was playing Hellblade.
Oh my
Which-
gosh.
It's recommended to wear headphones.
Yeah.
And I recommend to wear headphones. So I had these headphones on, and the part of the story that I was playing, or the game that I was playing, took place during a giant storm. So I was hearing thunder anyways,
Oh, yeah.
and my power just went out for 2 seconds, and I was just like... Took the headphones off, and I could hear thunder outside, and I was like, oh, that's great. Everything came back on. Wi-Fi came back on. I kept playing.
Nice.
Attaboy.
Just keep it going.
Yeah, nothing's going to slow me down.
Did you end up beating it?
Yep.
This weekend? Cool. Can't wait to hear about it.
Awesome. Yeah, agreed. Can't wait. But before we get to that, we have to talk about new trailers that came out.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
New
New trailers.
New trailers. There were a couple.
Yeah, I have 2 written down.
What do you got written down over there?
Beetlejuice 2 had
Yeah.
a new trailer.
Beetlejuice?
2024 AD.
Yeah,
Is that part of the title?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
I like the title image. I think it's cool. Beetlejuice 2024 AD. So if that's the official title, I'm fine with it. I like the original Beetlejuice. I think it's I think it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of creepy, but more funny.
Yeah.
I really liked this trailer, and mainly the things that I like about it are just how much it looks like the original,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but not necessarily in story, just like in terrible 80s, 90s VFX.
CG, yeah.
Even
Yeah.
like a sock puppet
Yeah.
sandworm. Like, I saw that and I was like, okay, we might be onto something
Yep.
with doing a legacy sequel with this.
They're really leaning into
The
the
goofiness.
goofiness of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Plus, I'm not gonna turn away a Michael Keaton
So
character.
That's what I was gonna hit on. Like Michael Keaton looks like he's just having a blast.
He was
Yeah.
the best part of The Flash,
Yeah.
was him reprising a role, so I'm down for him to do it again.
Yep. Yeah. No, I'm interested in seeing Michael Keaton reprise the role. So, otherwise, I'm not hugely attached
Yeah,
to the
I
first
don't-
one.
I don't care about.
I like
Beetlejuice.
it, but I'm not like a huge fan of it or anything. But I think the trailer's good.
I thought this trailer did a good job of getting me somewhat interested.
Yeah.
Because I would say, as someone who doesn't care about Beetlejuice, when Beetlejuice, that first trailer came out, I was like, okay, more of the same. And I'm not sure this is less of the same, but it was a good job marketing.
I
more of the
guess
same in a fun way.
My question after seeing the trailer is like, what is Tim Burton's last good movie? Like, and that's a real question because I don't know, because I don't watch a ton of his stuff, but I know he's had some pretty big stinkers over the last,
Well, he made Wednesday. It's not a movie.
Oh, okay, so he did do the show. I didn't know that.
I think he made Wednesday. Go away, ad. When Dumbo, Alice Through the Looking Glass, Big Eyes, Captain Sparky versus the Flying Saucers. What the?
It's a short.
Let's go to director. Where's his director stuff?
Go up.
Wednesday.
Sorry, and this is
Sweeney Todd, maybe, at least for me,
yeah. I mean,
which is forever ago.
it's I know
Yeah.
he's made some stinkers.
2007, wow.
He's made some stinkers. So like that's always kind of in the back of my mind anytime Tim Burton's making something. It's like
I mean, in his
I don't know.
defense, I haven't seen a lot of these.
Yeah.
I didn't see Dark Shadows. I didn't see Frankenweenie. You can guess why I didn't see that one. I didn't see Dumbo.
I do think he just has.
I didn't see Wednesday.
He's a director. We talk about
he's very
directors who just
peculiar.
has a vibe.
I didn't
Yep.
see Big Eyes.
And if you're not into that vibe, you're probably not going to enjoy a lot of his stuff. So I think he is a more divisive director, just in terms of, like if you're not into, like in 2007, I don't know, I was in high school at that time, and it was like kind of that goth movement, and like people like talking about
Emo kids.
Emo kids exist at all times, but I think that's maybe why I think like Sweeney Todd was more impactful in 2007 than Wednesday in 2023 for me.
Dude, look at that pic. that dude.
He
Oh,
looks
he's
like
got
the movie-
crazy. He looks like something out of Mad Max. No lie. Actually, he kind of looks like Smeg, the guy who played Smeg in Furiosa.
He looks like the movies he makes.
Yeah.
Like he looks like the guy who would make the movies he makes.
Right.
That
Oh,
way.
for sure. For sure.
Heck, even Beetlejuice looks like he's out of Furiosa. Can you imagine Beetlejuice as a war boy?
Dude, that'd be sick. He'd be unstoppable.
He's the fourth city,
Dude, yeah.
the fourth kingdom,
It's
whatever
just
they're
that little
called.
town that he.
Witness the juice.
The juice is loose. Oh man. But I'll thumbs up the trailer. I don't think it's a bad trailer at all.
Agreed.
The other trailer is also a Legacy sequel. Legacy forquel. Beverly Hills Cop Axel F.
I didn't watch this trailer.
This trailer was awesome.
Yeah. I'm hesitant only because it's a Netflix movie.
Yeah. No, for sure.
And
This will feel like it was not given quite enough money for what they're doing.
But man, Eddie Murphy's so funny. And like you forget, at least I do. I forget that because he's just not in as much stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I'm even remembering watching Coming to America 2. And while I didn't love the movie, I liked it just because Eddie Murphy's funny.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'm laughing at his jokes in this trailer, and it's like awesome. You know what? Let's do this. Just glad to see Eddie Murphy make movies again.
Yeah. Love that.
Thumbs up.
Have we talked about the Bad Boys trailer before?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have.
Do you want to talk about it?
I just like it. I think it looks good. Like, it looks like a Bad Boys movie.
Have you seen Bad Boys 3?
No, I need to.
It's great.
Yeah, like, dude, Will Smith and Martin Lawrence just have great chemistry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I love that in this new trailer, I'll get to that in just a second, but in the new trailer, they have Reggie back, which I think is just so funny. It's like, yeah, I'm a Marine. He's like, well, you need to deploy. Like, that joke to me is so good. So good. I love that they kept that. Yeah.
But yeah, it's the Batgirl directors.
Yeah.
And they did Miss Marvel, and Bad Boys 3. You start it and you're like, okay, this might be fun, and then it ends and you're like, yeah, that was fun. that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to Bad Boys 4.
I need to watch 3. I'm excited for it.
Although I can't believe that the third one is Bad Boys for life.
Yeah.
And I have to say for life to give it a weird accent because it's not for life.
Yeah.
Like, what a missed opportunity.
Just flip the titles.
Yeah, you could have been Ride or Die and you replace the E's with 3's.
Could have worked.
But, it's okay. They're subverting expectations just with the titles.
That's right.
So, Brett loves it.
They're leaning in.
That's right.
Cool.
I guess there was another teaser.
Oh, yeah, for what?
It was an announcement teaser
For the title of the next
Yeah.
Knives Out film?
Wake Up, Dead Man.
Mm-hmm.
A Netflix original. It ends with that logo, and I sent it to you guys, and I was just like, oh, mood killer. We're going to get it in theaters for a week again. It's like, it deserves so much better than that.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
But, very excited still.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
The first two were great.
Yep.
So I don't really have a reason to worry about the third.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no reason to be concerned.
They've already shelled out that money. The whole...
Was it 5 movies?
No.
This is the last one?
Yeah.
Okay.
They paid
a lot of money.
$400 million for 2 movies.
And then he can make a Muppets Knives Out
Yes.
mystery.
Heck yeah.
Which is what everybody really wants.
Heck yeah.
I agree. There was a trailer Luke and I kind of watched.
Oh yeah.
Before
I
he came
forgot
in.
about it.
The Dennis Quaid Reagan movie.
Oh.
This kind of you know what the vibe it's given me. It's like an Angel Studio production.
Oh no.
And I don't.
You're so right.
And I don't say that to like disparage.
You're not trying to dunk on them.
I'm not trying to dunk on it, but that is
the studio
just,
that brought you Facing the Giants. It's like, okay.
Like
and Fireproof.
But I just didn't, it just has like we're gonna try and do a feel good story about Ronald Reagan in 2024. I don't know. It just has vibes.
Watch it just blow up the box office. That'll be the one.
$1 billion
That'll be the one.
on a $3 budget.
Dennis Quaid just paid for it with his endorsement money.
Hey, it's what Coppola did for Megalopolis, so we know it works. It's what George Miller's going to have to do for the rest of his life for Mad Max.
I was going to say, it's what Costner did for
Horizon.
Yeah. So
he got a divorce over that for that movie. So hopefully it's good.
Hopefully it's good.
Whoa.
Yeah.
If you make this movie, I'm divorcing you.
Anyways, that trailer was
It's the Tom Brady. Well, I'm going back to play another year.
The Luke, what would you say the Reagan trailer was a thumbs down for you?
It was a thumbs down.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think I left in the middle of it to throw away my trash. I was like, I don't care about this.
Yeah, it looked like a very uninspiring biopic.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So.
Yep.
Yeah. I guess that's all of our trailers. So at this point, we can start talking about our main topic, where we're going to review Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga. Make sure I get the whole title in there.
Boom, boom, boom.
Dude, nothing makes me say hell yeah faster than that.
That little sound bite from the...
JT, who's in the chat, saw this with me last night, and that, like, finally, after 40 minutes of trailers are over, Warner Brothers pops up, and then you get that motif.
The revving engine.
Yeah.
The soundtrack.
And I immediately was like, hell yeah. Like, out loud, I was like, yes, we're back. Like, nothing so quickly. So exciting to hear that again.
I'll tell you what. I kind of rag on Tom Holkenberg a lot. Because I feel like
dunk on him quite a bit.
I feel like he's really hit or miss, and he likes to replicate his best soundtrack over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really nice to have him back in this world, so he can just replicate the soundtrack and like kind of just get away with it for me.
Yeah.
So because I'm kind of the same way, the revving soundtrack comes in. It's just like, yeah, I'm ready.
Oh,
I'm
baby. Yeah, JT commented, yeah, I was pumping my arms. Yeah, it was interesting. Our showing was pretty light. It was a late showing.
Oh, yeah.
Some people behind us left after being there for like 20 minutes.
Oh,
like, I don't know if they knew what they had signed up for, but they were just like, yeah, we're going to leave. It's like, bye. See ya.
Dude, I'll tell you what. I had an interesting interaction at the movie theater.
Oh?
So, you know my deal now.
Yeah.
I always buy the back right corner of the IMAX now. And I showed up and somebody was sitting in it. And they were just like, oh, I just assumed nobody would buy this seat. And you know what? Fair.
Yeah.
I get it. Most people don't want that seat, but I do because I don't want people to kick my chairs.
Yeah.
But you buy an assigned seat, just sit in it until the movie starts and then move.
Yeah.
I don't understand. And this is the more wild part to me. He was watching Hunter x Hunter on his phone, muted with subtitles, through half the trailers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like...
Did he, like, just scoot over one, or did he...
Are you getting everything from that? It's something I just can't even comprehend, watching something muted on my phone. Whatever. Power to you, guy. He was great during the movie.
Good.
He never got on his phone and didn't talk.
Did he sit next to you?
They sat right in front of me.
Oh, okay.
So you kicked their seats.
No. Well, maybe by accident once.
Got excited. You're like, ooh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, my. Our theater was 25% full. I mean, it wasn't packed, but it wasn't super light. It's Memorial Day. So an interesting, like, people are either out and about doing things, like stuff with family, or they come in. I don't know. But we had a pretty engaged theater. Lots of chuckling when there was bits of comedy, especially from I just forgot his name.
Hemsworth.
Dementis. I was trying to think of his character name. Dementis has some funny lines. Lines that could be interpreted as funny, at least.
Dude, somebody laughed really loud when his nipples get ripped off.
Yes. Yeah, so we had some laughing. We had
Might
someone yell. We
Maybe.
had a couple people go like, "Oh yeah," or you know. But yeah, overall it was a good theater experience for us as well.
Yeah.
So it helps.
Good.
I was just mind blown at the watching anime on the phones with no sound. It's like, oh, I gotta catch up on my Hunter x Hunter. It's like, I don't know. Maybe somebody can explain it to me.
We're just old, Luke.
Maybe it was a rewatch for him.
He just loves it. He just wanted to see that fight scene.
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
That or he's trying to bring in a new audience by showing it to people.
He likes a girl, or guy, who really likes Hunter x Hunter, and he's just trying to catch up.
Yeah.
It's like, I gotta catch up so I can
gotta
talk
get
to him
all
about
of the
it.
knowledge about it so that I can have a conversation.
Respect. He's putting in the work.
And that person's gonna be like, oh yeah, but that voice actor's voice is so weird. And he's gonna be like, yeah. Shoot, I should have watched it muted.
But, well, let's go ahead down the line. Start with Luke. What did you think of the film?
Oh man, I loved it. That's it. I'm done.
Oh, yeah.
No,
short and sweet.
What I wrote in my letterboxd was, I'm pretty sure George Miller is a psychopath, and I'm the one who gets to reap all the benefits.
I like that.
I think it's super fitting that George Miller wants Kojima to make a Mad Max video game. Because I feel like they deserve each other.
I was going to bring up him for Death Stranding.
That would be interesting.
I wouldn't. Their minds are so different from everybody else's. And I just can't imagine thinking up of all these wild things that they do in all these movies. Every single one.
Yeah.
That's something you just go, wait, what?
Excuse me?
We're doing
I always
what?
think of the gadgets and stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's just so weird.
Like my favorite rule just about the Mad Max movies is they've more so, and they've been in these last two, have been everything you see in the movie has to be something real, repurposed. So if like you go through the movies, you'll see random items that are used for something completely different.
Yeah.
Like how the gas pedal is a foot measuring thing for shoe sizes. Like you could notice everything in the movie, and I love that. I love this world, and I love these movies. Maybe some bias in there from now on. Fury Road is like in my top 5 movies, so
yeah.
I liked it quite a bit. Teetering, I would say, I don't know. I gave it 4 stars on Letterboxd. So, I mean, I think it's a really good movie. I have really only one complaint, I'd say. But that complaint kind of disappeared as I watched it longer, which makes me... I'm just confused how to add that into a review because it's like only there half the time for me. But I really enjoyed it. I love the world. I love kind of echoing what Luke's saying. Just how everything, all the gadgets, all the different vehicles. I always love the action in these movies. I think it's just, it feels like it looks good. It's unique. Like there's nothing else out there like it right now. And it's just refreshing to watch, right? Like,
yeah,
feels like a logistical nightmare.
Yeah, for sure. But
absolutely.
Like, it's really funny. So I thought about this last night when I got home. It was like, man, outside of watching Fury Road or any of the other Mad Max movies, what could I watch to scratch the same itch? And I just don't think there is anything. And I think that says a lot about Mad Max as a whole. Just all of it. But especially these last two. The bar just keeps getting raised in different ways. Obviously, Fury Road, highest bar. Furiosa's no slouch, though.
Sure.
I feel like there's just... We get so many post-apocalyptic things now. And you're right, there's nothing like this, even visually.
No.
Like, we always kind of get muted and sad dystopian post-apocalyptic futures. No, this is like super bright. There's things everywhere.
There's charisma everywhere.
It's full. And then also, like, you always
get... It's a movie full of Riz.
Yeah, it's very charismatic. Death Race is probably the closest kind of thing. Not nearly as good, but similar kind of weirdness.
Yeah, weird, but it has that
Right. Kind of quirkiness to it.
Heck, that could probably fit in this.
Honestly,
within the world.
That's what's going on in America.
Yeah.
Death race.
Yeah. But I think, kind of echoing what you're saying, like, we don't get a lot of dystopian. What we do get that is dystopian is usually YA novels turned into films.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
And this is there is
no books.
unforgiving R-rated.
Yeah.
Like, it's not made for young adults. This is a bloody and gory and
where else are you
gross.
going to get a movie where there's two dudes named Rictus, Erectus, and Scrotus? Nowhere.
Nowhere else.
That's not happening anywhere else.
Nowhere else. Yeah.
Yep.
There's so many nipple clamps in this movie, man. That the people eater guy is just like playing with his nipple the entire time.
Shout out to the organic mechanic.
Yep. Dude, I loved sitting through the credits and just looking at all of the unique names that everyone has. Yeah.
Dude, the Octoboss was freaking sweet.
But yeah.
Here's what I wrote. I was kind of putting together a little something.
Brett's about to be like, "This is the worst movie
This movie sucks.
I've ever seen. I'd rather watch Ready Player One."
What a piece of hot... No, that's not how it starts. Here's what I said. I think this is a really solid attempt at a much smaller and personal story in the Mad Max, with the Mad Max formula. Especially kind of considering these like Fury Road and this one are really their own thing, right? I feel like Mad Max is always a vehicle. It's more about this is a metaphor. It's more about the vehicle and less about who's driving. And in this one, in Furiosa, it's way more about Furiosa than the vehicle. It's the weird analogy because there are a lot.
They're in a lot of.
The
vehicles.
whole thing is about vehicles. I get it, but it's taking the refinements that Miller learned in Fury Road and applying them to a more personal story, while at the same time trying to do it with as little dialogue as possible. I think that works in certain elements really well. And I think there's other things like pacing because of how much story he's trying to tell, from a child to an adult. I think the pacing is a little wonky. But overall, I walked away. I had enjoyed myself. I just couldn't walk away and be like, here's why I enjoyed it. But the more I've just literally like 3 hours ago walked out of it. So like, it's one that I'm still munching on and digesting, and I think I'll come to. I already appreciate the technical abilities that Miller has done.
Oh yeah,
Fury Road and this one too. So I don't want, like, I'm gonna probably be harder on this movie than you two. At the same time, I think it's absolutely worth seeing.
I'll tell you this. I usually like will get on Letterboxd right away and like try and put my first thought out immediately. I didn't do that for this one. I really thought about it for a while, and the more I thought about it, the more I really enjoyed what he did with it.
Yeah.
What I think my singular most favorite thing about this movie is that it is really not like Fury Road at all.
Yeah.
Which I think a lot of people might be expecting, because I mean, it's the same character, it's the same places, it's just in the past. But there's only really one scene that's similar, which is the stowaway scene, which is freaking awesome. But even that didn't feel the same.
No.
Music-wise, even action-wise, it's just like, yeah, we know this is kind of part of being on the road. That's why we bring all these people with us to defend the rig. And they're just kind of doing their job.
Yeah.
Whereas Fury Road was just chaos incarnate. But like even the chapters, they do. This is a movie that has chapters.
5 chapters.
5, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like, I think halfway through the movie, even, I guess, the first one, I was like, oh, we're doing this. This is interesting. But, like, I was just thinking about it after, and I was like, it worked so well. Because even just the whole movie is more so narrated by the history man.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like you're reading a book. It's just visual.
Yeah.
I was telling Brett upstairs, I love the chapters. Like, I think it's just... It's a great way. I'm not saying do every prequel this way, but it's a great way to do a prequel. Because it's like I don't know. I'm gonna become hypocritical by doing this with Solo, but
you know what? I was about to bring up Solo.
Yeah, no, but like, see, but the difference is with this is we only have one movie. So, like, what we've heard or had said about Furiosa is one movie. And really, there's not a lot said about her, so this is all kind of new information. Whereas Solo, it was like, we've made comments about this, and this. Okay, we're going to show you that. Mm. So I think that's why it worked more for me. But the chapter thing was just so cool, being that I like to read.
Yeah.
And I think it, you kind of mentioned pacing. I think it helps it. Because it breaks it up.
I think it breaks it up. Well, and there's time jumps, right?
Yeah.
So it's a very natural way of breaking. Like, okay, we're at a stopping point, but something new.
Yeah.
So I think it works well in that regard for sure.
Yeah, and you mentioned the dialogue. Mm-hmm. Man, I want a Mad Max movie with less dialogue. Like, I'll take no dialogue. Like, I love it. I think Fury Road is the best example ever of visual storytelling. Like, you can get so much just by how the actors are, like, rolling their eyes or responding just on their face, and just by how the story goes and what they do along the way. Like, I feel like that movie doesn't even need dialogue. I would love it if he would try.
Give it a shot.
Yeah.
I do think that because I think there was a quote of him saying something like, I like to watch. He likes to watch movies without the sound on to see how they. So the goal is that you could watch this without sound and still understand what's going on.
That's what the anime dude is definitely doing now.
Yeah, exactly. The anime dude.
Maybe he was just gearing up for the movie.
Yeah, it's like, I better watch this, practice in case this doesn't have sound.
So, like, the plot is understandable fairly easily without that. It's all icing on the cake.
I think I think what he said was Fury Road was his version of a silent film.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Which I'm all for.
What did you guys think of our characters, our actors? We have Anya Taylor-Joy and the young lady who played her younger version, as well as Chris Hemsworth as
Dr. Dementis.
I'll start with Hemsworth. I'll just say I think this is the best I've ever seen him be in anything. I loved him. I think he's
thinking
phenomenal.
of other movies he's been in.
Extraction.
That aren't Marvel.
Extraction 2.
He was in... Is it Wrong Turn?
Rush?
He's in Rush.
I've never seen Rush.
He's in Star Trek.
Yeah, he dies real quick.
Yeah.
I'd agree with you. He was phenomenal.
He's so good.
Yeah.
Like, so good. Honestly, at times I kind of forgot it was him. Which I think is the greatest compliment.
Because he gets to speak in his Australian accent.
That, and then like the prosthetic and the contacts do just enough to kind of deter you, like recognizing him all the time.
Yeah.
Even as they age him throughout the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He does a great job of feeling like he's a character who's worn.
Yeah.
Right? Like you don't watch him as the old version and be like, oh, it's just.
Yeah, it's just
he
the
just
same
has
guy.
A different, He has a different beard.
We just salt and peppered his beard. That's all. No, like his performance changes too.
Right.
And I thought he was incredible. Yeah. To me, he kind of steals it.
One of the things I had seen kind of with the press junket was going around. This was I think he said the first time in a long time he's had as much fun as he's had on a set. That coupled with George Miller being like, I'll direct him in anything.
Sounds like they just have a good relationship.
They just have a really good relationship.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They got a lot out of him.
And I mean, I don't know. My guess is this is one of probably the least studio interfering projects too, right? Like you don't get George Miller to direct a Mad Max sequel and be like, I'm gonna give you notes.
Yeah. Right? And how do you even give notes to George Miller?
I don't know. It's not.
It's like, hey, here's our notes, and he's like,
oh, the flames are too big.
I needed toilet paper, thank you. Right? Like, what? George Miller's not gonna take your notes. He doesn't care. He's making what he wants to make.
But yeah, I would agree, Tyler. I think he kind of steals the show. But part of that is also, I think Furiosa, Anya Taylor-Joy's character, is written to be a little more subtle and subdued.
And she's great too.
She is great.
Yeah.
She's, she gets to the point where I can believe that she becomes Charlize Theron in Mad Max.
Dude, I'll tell you what. There's some shots in this movie where it shows her, and you're just like, did they put Charlize in this?
So JT and I said that several times. We were like, wait, is she in this movie?
They no, they didn't. It's still her.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, what?
Even her ability to kind of adapt her kind of acting to be like Charlize. Mm-hmm. Like, it's so impressive.
And I'll tell you what. So today, you saw Furiosa today. I watched Fury Road today. I had to watch more Mad Max.
Yeah.
But I didn't really have time to go to the theater again. I think it might be like perfect casting just because Charlize had aged out. Like she's she's 48 years old now. Still looks freaking good. But
you're not gonna get her to play a 20-year
no, you can't.
old version of herself.
And like, oh dude, it's honestly so refreshing. I watched an interview of George Miller and he said, we thought about doing the de-aging and I just thought it didn't. He was talking about other movies, and he's like, "It's not good enough yet." So we decided to cast Anya, and I'm just like, "Yes, finally, somebody makes the right decision."
You know what's really interesting? Anya was on one of the late shows, and they were talking about with her younger counterpart. They actually did use some digital masking technology in like chapters, because it's like 1 through 3 are with the young girl, right? And so like in those chapters they subtly add little bits of like Anya's features to her digitally to just kind of make her look a little more and more like Anya.
That's really cool.
But that's not a complete de-aging thing. That's just
real quick
minor.
JT said it was Cabin in the Woods that Chris Hemsworth was in, not Wrong Turn. Cabin in the Woods. Weird movie.
Very weird movie. He also dies in that one.
He does die in that movie. Yeah.
In spectacular fashion.
Does he die in Rush?
Driving a car.
Does he die in Rush? You can spoil it. I don't care.
I don't.
Maybe he's just great in movies he dies in.
I can't remember.
Maybe that's the thing.
Men in Black 4?
Oh, he wasn't. No, he wasn't that.
He didn't die in it though. So
is he good in Ghostbusters? I haven't seen that one.
He's comic. He's purely comic relief. Okay. So he's fine.
Okay. Sorry, not to derail us, but I think cast, in my opinion, all around was really good. I even like the dude who...
Praetorian Jack.
Is that who was teaching her? Tom.
Yeah, dude, Tom Burt.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah,
I liked him a lot.
He was. Maybe a con could use more of him.
Yeah.
I think I would have liked to see more of that.
Maybe he's the next
relationship, friendship, companionship, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Build, throughout the middle of the movie, and less of the younger Furiosa stuff.
Yeah, because they kind of allude to, I'm going to teach you how to do this.
Yeah.
And then
we're there.
And then we're getting you a car and getting you out.
Yeah.
I will push. I'm not pushing back, but I did like the younger Furiosa stuff because I think you get a little bit more of the politics of the world and how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that. I think I'm finding myself more and more loving world building lately. I don't know if it's because I started reading fantasy books or not, but I just really love that. Like, I love when that feels... I talked about it in Kingdom, like when Caesar has become almost a religion now, right? Like, I like how in this, like, the politics feel... Like, that's how I would expect the politics to work.
Yeah.
if everything went to crap in the world.
It's
right?
It's super simple, but they still present it in a way that's very engaging.
Yeah.
And interesting, and you don't know it.
And it all
just
looks
off the top of your head.
And it looks different in the different
show it.
towns.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, I find it so intriguing and so awesome, and it made me go home and download the Mad Max video game.
Oh.
And I haven't got to play it yet, but it was PS Plus for free like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And
you just had it ever since.
Yeah, and I've had it, so I was like, I'm gonna download this and try to play it because I just want more of the in between.
Yeah.
Right. Like I want more of that. So.
I know why they have it. Absolutely think that they don't need it. The little 1 minute intro into this movie, where it's like
the
radio voiceover about
it's in every single one.
The end of the is it really?
It's in every single one. That shot of the trees. It's in every single movie except the first one.
It's been a hot minute, so okay.
Because the first one,
they always talk about the oil wars. They always talk about the water wars.
Still don't think they need it.
They show the trees. I think in the third one they show the buildings exploding from nukes.
Yeah. Okay. It's a thing.
How dare that be a con? How dare you?
How dare I? Yeah.
Where
fair enough.
do you get off?
Fair enough.
I didn't know that either, so.
I feel like that's something I should have.
I did remembered. I just rewatched all these movies.
Yeah.
Like 2-3 months ago.
It wasn't long ago. Yeah.
They released a Furiosa trailer and it got me so hyped up.
Yeah.
I watched all of them like in 2 or 3 days. That was a great weekend, man.
Outside of Fury Road, which one's your favorite?
This one.
Outside of Furiosa and this one.
Those two, so of the older ones.
I would go Fury Road, Furiosa, Road Warrior, Beyond Thunderdome, Mad Max.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
how quickly
4,
you
5,
did that is
2,
impressive.
3, 1.
4, 5, 2, 3, 1. Nice.
JT agrees with says Road Warrior.
Road Warrior is so good. Honestly, like Road Warrior, Fury Road, and Furiosa is just like next level action movies. And the fact that Road Warrior is older and it's like more comparable to the current ones is, I think, speaks to itself of how good George Miller was even back then.
Yeah.
The original is like nothing like the rest.
Yeah.
There's ocean still.
Yeah.
There's grass.
Let's say they're like in the woods at a point, aren't they?
He's married and has a kid. It's the origin story.
Yeah.
And then Road Warrior, we're in the outback desert, and
I love it.
But yeah, dude, I freaking loved this movie. There was so many great action sequences. And I mean, the one that really everybody's talking about is the stowaway sequence. And there's just like the dudes skating behind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the paragliders. Whatever the giant octopus thing was awesome. Like that entire sequence was just breathtaking, and I love stuff like that. And I can't imagine having to safely choreograph all of that and then piece it together.
Yeah. Editing a film like this with action pieces like that
on that scale.
I don't know how much of that is, edited beforehand in previs and how much George Miller has a hand in editing those sequences, because it's all, it's what's coming from his mind and he has to plan to shoot it, versus, we shot all this crazy stuff and it has to be pieced together in post in a way that makes sense. Either way, impressive.
You sent that thing about storyboarding.
Yeah.
George Miller, you should look up I think Screenblade just even posted the Fury Road side by side.
Mm-hmm. They did.
And it's storyboard. Like it's just a bunch of pictures.
With a few action lines in there.
Yeah,
it's really interesting.
I mean, when you don't have to focus on dialogue, you can just be like, this is what I want.
Yeah.
I want it to look like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. I will, jump over and just a couple cons or nitpicks.
Give some critique.
For me, I just have one. And the beginning of this movie, and Luke kind of was explaining to me what I think it might be. I would say up until Anya Taylor-Joy is in the movie, so I think it's the first 3 chapters. I just don't think it looks very good. 2 chapters.
2 chapters. Okay.
I just don't think it looks very good. I think there's too much effect, and everything just looks kind of wonky to me. And
there's a lot of background replacement.
Yeah, and like up until Anya Taylor-Joy is in the movie, I was like, man, if this is how the whole movie looks, I'm gonna have a hard time with this. And then she shows up, and I felt like it wasn't a problem anymore. So it was either my eyes adjusted, or it just looks better from then on because of. I mean, you mentioned they're in the Citadel more. They're in more fake sets that probably helped, but that's my biggest con. I think it does look pretty wonky at the beginning.
I think it helps to the movie moves real fast. Mm-hmm. And so I think when there's a lot of edits and you're kind of just going from here to there to there to there to there and constantly moving, I think you don't notice it
as much.
Yeah. You're more focused on that thing that in the middle that you need to be focused on.
What they want you to
Furiosa
see.
or Dementis.
Yeah, it's what they want you to see.
A lot of the more lingering shots where they're trying to show off the Citadel or something, it's like, okay, it looks all right.
Yeah,
but I'd agree. It's not. I guess it's not a con for me, but it could look better. Yeah. And it has a big budget too, which is kind of frustrating.
Yeah.
But also, I'd rather get the good-looking action sequences than.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the action sequences look great.
They look great. They look awesome.
I'm with you there. I would rather have that than good background replacement.
Yeah. So much like Fury Road, there is a lot of this film that does not run at native 24 frames per second.
It's fast.
It's less than 24, which gives the illusion of faster movement.
Yeah.
More jittery movement. I don't tend to mind it with the vehicles. I think because it makes the vehicles look faster, and thus more engaging. But anytime someone's moving or walking, it's a con for me.
It throws you off.
It throws me off.
Dude, I love it.
There's a moment where, and I won't spoil anything, but it's near the end of the it's at least it's near the end of the film, where Furiosa is tied up, and there are bikes like circling her, and it looks great, except for there's a character who's walking off, and she's walking, and then stop, and then like a weird stop to wait for a gap in the bikes to walk through. And it just felt really freaking weird.
Dude, I love it.
I was just like, ugh. Gives me a little bit of the ick.
I get like excited when I see it. I'm like, oh, he's doing the thing. Because it even shows up, I think, more than you would think.
Oh yeah.
Like there's sometimes where you don't, like in Fury Road when he reloads the sniper. That's sped up.
In Fury Road, it was like 60% of that film is not 24 frames per second. So there are so many times where it works. I think it is mostly humans walking. Mm-hmm. It just looks wrong. Mm-hmm. I don't know how you fix that.
I may have even just interpreted that. I thought that was a passage of time thing. Oh. Because they're just going in a circle.
Yeah.
Doing their thing.
Yeah.
But I won't disagree that you notice it.
It's fairly obvious at moments.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Very noticeable at some moments.
So there's our little critiques, I guess, our little nitpicks. Yeah. Luke, did you have any cons or?
I don't have any.
Yeah.
My only critique would be the VFX of the background replacement.
Yeah.
And, the VFX for the large scale cities.
Yeah.
But no, I don't have any problems with this movie.
No, yeah.
I was laying in bed till like 2 a.m. just thinking about this thing, just like, man, that was so cool.
I do appreciate that it's not a film thus far, and I imagine it won't be, that I walked out of the theater and I just kind of forgot about.
Oh yeah, no.
No, it's gonna be one that sits with me for a while. I'm gonna think about it.
I can't wait to watch this one with Dana because she likes Fury Road a lot. She likes Furiosa a lot. I'm like, you're gonna love this movie.
Yeah.
I think she will really enjoy Furiosa quite a bit.
I will say this. I don't remember crying during Fury Road a lot. I more so just love the epicness of it.
Yeah.
Not to say that it is not emotional.
Yeah, for sure.
But man, it hit really hard watching it right after Furiosa. And just kind of knowing what she had been through, and then when she finally gets to those moments in Fury Road, yeah, it was devastating.
Yeah.
So it adds a lot of weight to even Fury Road, and
they'll be fun to watch, kind of like what you did back to back, but even just in the same day.
Might have to do it again, just watch all of them again. I don't even care. They're all short. Yeah. I think Furiosa is the longest one. How long was this movie?
2:28.
2.5.
Definitely the longest one. I don't even have to look up the other ones. I think they're all under 2 hours.
See, the older ones are like 90 to 100 minutes, aren't they?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I just love how the original Mad Max is just like this international indie film. This dude who wanted to run cars off of ramps and through things and blow stuff up.
Mad Max is an hour 28.
Nice.
Mad Max 2 is an hour 36.
Nice.
Wow.
Beyond Thunderdome is an hour 47.
Nice. 2 hours 1 minute is Fury Road.
Fury Road, they have it listed at 2 hours flat. And then, yeah.
I watched it today. I'm not crazy. I should just say.
Well, what do you guys give this thing as a recommendation?
There's an untitled Mad Max.
The Wasteland.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, George Miller is going to have to fund that one himself, I think, because nobody went and saw on opening weekend, which is all anybody cares about anymore, which is unfortunate.
This is Warner Bros.
So
they'll keep it in theaters slightly longer than the 2 weeks Fall Guy was in there.
Was that their movie too?
No.
Okay.
That was Universal.
Universal.
Listen, Warner Bros. Might actually count the Max streaming numbers, for all we know. We don't know what they're thinking anymore, besides, if we don't like it, we're going to burn it. So
yeah, right, yeah.
But I'm really curious what this one will do during Oscar season, because Mad Max had 6 wins.
It did really well.
Will this one have the same luck? Probably not. It's in the same year as Dune 2.
Yeah. When you're going up, the Sandy movies.
Dude, it's a good year for sand and monkeys.
It is. True. That's what this movie really needed. A few more monkeys.
Or maybe Kingdom needs more sand.
Why not both? Cross promotion.
Same universe.
I'll start with my recommendation. I'm going to give this a fanboy worthy. I think this is a really good film. And short of some of my nitpicks, it's not for everyone, but I think it's excellent.
Yep. I'll give it a strong fanboy worthy as well.
It's a booyah for me. I think it's quintessential action cinema. Like, right up there with Fury Road. So.
This will be the most unique action film this year. I think something like The Fall Guy is...
It's a great action movie.
Maybe...
But right, you see a lot of that
It's very traditional action.
Yeah.
This is going to be very untraditional action, and will make you go like, how the heck did they do that?
Great year for stuntmen, though.
Great year for stuntmen. You're not wrong. You are not wrong.
Can we get Emily Blunt in the Mad Max universe?
Why not?
Or Ryan Gosling. Let's see him do a villainous character in Mad Max The Wasteland.
That'd be fun. Let's let him get after it.
That sounds good to me.
Emily Blunt, Ryan Gosling is some weird conjoined fraternal twins.
I can't believe how bad I would actually want that. That would be awesome.
Sounds perfect for the Wasteland.
It does. True. News. Wait, what do we got, boys?
I think this is a fun one. Reacher casts a 7'2" bodybuilder as their new villain.
Did you guys see the meme I sent
Yeah.
you? Until they make a bigger Reacher.
Yeah. Olivier Richters, a.k.a. the Dutch Giant. He's 7'2". That is a large man, and I cannot wait to watch him and Alan Ritchson punch each other.
That is so amazing.
Yeah. He will be playing the character named Polly.
Does he want a cracker?
He's going to crack some bones, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very excited for season 3 of that.
Me too.
Is that in production?
I think they've
Like, are
been
they filming?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think they jumped into it pretty fast.
The sooner we can get that, the better.
Yep.
Oh, shoot. I was looking at something earlier, and I don't remember.
I'll keep going while you try to remember that.
I forgot to write it.
Jeffrey Wright is reprising his role from The Last of Us 2 in season 2 of this show. He'll be playing Isaac.
Yeah. Isaac.
Oh,
that's cool.
Oh, yeah.
He's a good working relationship with HBO, so that doesn't...
Yeah.
That's just a match made in heaven.
Hey, and it worked really good for the girl that they had in the game was cast as the person who like raised her. Mm-hmm. I don't remember her name. Do you remember it? Do you remember it? Oh, okay. I mean, plus it's Jeffrey Wright. He's fantastic.
Oh, yeah. So good.
I don't think anybody would ever say no to him. No, the story I just remembered. I guess there's another Blade rewrite happening.
Another one?
Yeah.
Good lord.
Apparently it's really difficult to write a story about a guy that kills vampires with swords.
So,
Mahershala Ali, I think, should just bail.
Are they making it... Are they trying to make it more 4-quadrant or less 4-quadrant at this point? Because I think if they're trying to make it more 4-quadrant, if Deadpool and Wolverine goes really well, they could be doing more rewrites to make it more edgy and less 4-quadrant.
What's 4-quadrant?
Quadrants are like what's the amount of people who can go see this. So think of it as like,
oh, it's R-rated, but it's okay for
like different demographics, right? So like a R-rated movie automatically cuts out a large section of your potential audience.
Gotcha.
That's why so many big $200 million movies, you think of like the Marvel stuff or Star Wars, they're always aiming for PG-13 because they have to make back that money.
Yeah. Okay, I gotcha.
Speaking of movies that are not making their money back, this is the worst Memorial Day weekend in like 30 years, which is not great. Furiosa did win the box office, but it estimated only $32 million. Garfield movie was at $24 million. So, animated Chris Pratt film, not the guaranteed box office hit that someone thought it would be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, the last ones have all been good.
Yeah.
Which helped.
I think Furiosa...
And I think they've also been more iconic.
Yeah. I think Furiosa will have some legs.
I think it has the chance of legs.
But with opening numbers this low...
What comes out this weekend?
That's what I was just getting ready to look at.
Because if nothing new or interesting is coming out this weekend, it ups the chance. But I mean, you mentioned quadrants, and now I understand quadrants. Mm-hmm. There's missing quadrants with Mad Max world.
This was never going to open to Little Mermaid numbers from last year. Which, that movie, critically panned. Maybe not panned.
Explain quadrants to me.
Were you not listening earlier?
Not really.
So Fury Road...
I was looking at news stories.
That's fine.
Fury Road total box office was $380. I remember that not doing well when it came out.
Yeah. But it had such good word of mouth. Yeah. And I don't know if
it won 6 Oscars.
I don't think this one will have as good of word of mouth. Quadrants are the number of people who can see your movie.
Okay, I got you now. That's simple enough.
Can you explain quadrants to me? Just kidding. Another news story. James Gunn confirmed who's working on the Green Lantern series.
Yes.
This is such a win, in my opinion.
Damon Lindelof, who did Lost and Watchmen and The Leftovers.
Yep.
And Chris Mundy, who did Ozark.
And they called this True Detective is kind of the inspiration.
Yeah, that's what they keep saying. But listen, I got to be honest.
And Tom King is involved.
The most interesting thing in this entire post was the Green Lantern Year One art. Like, that is a different take on Green Lantern.
Yep.
With them still being kind of a classic Green Lantern. It's just a kind of a different origin story. Mm-hmm. But man, seeing that art there made me super excited.
Dude, that I love the team that's on this. Tom, like I mentioned, Tom King's part of it too. Mm-hmm. In some form. I guess he's kind of been in the background of a lot of things. But no, this is awesome.
I do think it's interesting. Gunn was responding to somebody because somebody was asking him about a different team or director or something, and he's like, "The teams are already made up. You guys just like most
don't
of them
know
are
who they are.
Most of them are filled. We're not saying who they are yet.
Yeah,
it's just kind of if somebody figures it out, he's like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'll confirm it. Yeah, I love how he's kind of moved that direction. Man, when that freaking those castings are announced, it's gonna be exciting and nerve-wracking all the same.
Maybe they can get Raul Coley since Marvel just decided to ignore him.
Yeah, I guess that's a good segue. So Raul Coley revealed he was on some podcast that he was in the running for Reed Richards, and they went with Pedro instead. And
dude, I was looking at the comments below these posts, and people are like, "Wow, dodged a bullet! Oh, good! Thank goodness we got Pedro." And it's just like, your movie's gonna be more expensive and less interesting.
Yeah.
No offense to Pedro, he's a great actor.
It's funny if you could probably go back. We've talked about Raul Coley in that role for forever.
I think I've been talking about that for years now.
Yeah.
Ever since they announced the movie, maybe, which was like 4 years ago.
Yeah. And when Pedro was casted, we were like, that's fine, but it's pretty uninspiring.
I know what it was. It was after Midnight Mass.
Yeah.
Because that made me go, oh, Raul Coley's really, really good.
Really, really
good. He's a good actor. Yeah. Yeah, man. That's a huge bummer.
Whatever.
He's clearly chasing those roles, though. Yeah. Which I think is cool.
He's in the
Flanagan
yard, though. So
Flanagan did send a mess I saw on, I think it was Threads. It could have been Twitter, but Flanagan sent a message or retweeted or commented on one of his posts. It was like,
"Oh man, missed out on a good one."
bummed for you, but you're gonna, I can't wait to see,
what you get next.
What you get. Maybe what you get will be even better. Was the
maybe he'll just be Flanagan's gunslinger. Would he be good at that? I don't know anything about Dark Tower.
It'll be, I don't know. I mean, they did Idris Elba, and I thought he was a fine choice. But
what about
the gunslinger? Just has no. The Man in Black has all the charisma. Like the gunslinger's just a dude.
Yeah,
he's just a dude. Like, I don't know. That'd be fun for him.
What's
as
up,
the Man
Baroque?
in Black.
Good to see you.
That'd be kind of fun. Let him be a little weird.
Yeah. I don't know anything about Dark Tower, so I'm just spitballing.
You just know you'll be there day one.
I know he'll be in it somewhere because he's on Flanagan's squad. So
we'll see what world of Stephen King's that Raul Coley shows up in.
Can't wait
till they go to Derry in the Dark Tower.
Moo.
Any other news stories?
My favorite Mad Max quote, man. Sorry. Was there any? I forgot to write a lot of stuff down.
It was pretty quiet.
We got Wake Up Dead Man.
We got Wake Up Deadman. We talked about that.
Yeah. We got.
I think they announced X-Men is like officially in the works now.
They did.
Oh,
It was a Marvel movie.
Black Ops 6 was confirmed to be the Call of Duty this year.
That's right.
On
Game Pass.
On Game Pass.
That's the rumor, yeah.
Breaking news. It's gonna
Um,
shut down Activision. They don't know what they're in.
we got our first look at Liam Hemsworth as Geralt.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, I thought he looked fine.
I was gonna say, I don't think he looks that different.
It's just the face is a little different.
Which,
but he looks fine.
Yeah.
It's a bad show anyway. Who cares?
I really don't think he looks that different. Like, I don't know. It's weird. Sony shared concept art of their controller from the future.
Oh.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Yeah, it's stupid looking. And then
Nintendo's gonna share theirs, and it's just gonna be a Nintendo GameCube controller.
so, yeah,
And you're like, here's ours. It's like, whoa!
it's a GameCube controller with haptics. That's all it's gonna be.
No, there's gonna be zero vibration. You're like, we've removed vibration.
Yeah.
It killed battery life.
And guess what? Yeah, our battery life is 3 years.
It's hard to call this news, but Neil Druckmann said Naughty Dog's next game, quote, could redefine mainstream perceptions of gaming. End quote.
Yeah, so then he had a clarifying comment, which was
Not at all that.
Sony, because that quote was in a Sony little press release thing, and it was, my quote was not this was editorialized, here's the full quote from which that came, and it was nothing like that.
Yeah, it
That's
was
funny.
So that was just Sony
journalism at its greatest,
just
right?
bringing up their own.
Love that.
Yeah.
It was, we have Neil Druckmann and you don't.
Yeah. Because everyone on the internet was like, "Oh, that's like,
That's bold.
Like, that's, come on, seriously?" It's like, no, actually, he didn't say that.
Oh, and we got our first look at The Rock in the Smashing Machine movie.
And Emily Blunt.
And Emily
Blunt.
I don't care about The Rock. I do care about Emily Blunt.
He looks just like the dude the movie's about. I was looking at it, I was like, oh dang, he looks just like him.
I'm not gonna lie, I looked at it and I was like, that's not The Rock.
Yeah, dude, right? Like, it took me a minute. I was like, where is he in this
You
shot?
gotta, like, cover everything but his eyes.
Yeah.
For me, it's his arm. Like, I just saw his arm and I was like, oh yeah, that's The Rock.
If they would put the tattoo back on, you'd be like,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, he looks like the guy.
Yeah.
It's interesting thinking of him being in an A24 film.
He's got to reinvent his career after Black Adam.
Well,
It
and
changed the hierarchy of his universe.
Yeah, that
did a lot of damage.
and after like the peeing in bottles on set fiasco.
He has had some hard PR the last.
Yeah, I
year.
mean,
And
he's,
maybe after verbally abusing Rebecca Ferguson and thinking it wasn't we're gonna find him. It's you, Dwayne. Huh?
What?
I always think of that meme when I see
Allegedly, that's me just being alleged.
when I see that
We
clip.
won't get sued. It's okay.
I
Nobody
always
listens.
see that meme where it's like the dude looking in the mirror pointing. It's like, go in there and make it about you.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I feel like he lives his life, his social media life at least.
Fair enough.
Go in there and make it about you.
Well, what'd you guys do this week?
I can very quickly go.
Sure.
Been playing a new game called X Defiant. I'm sure if you've been on the internet at all, you've heard about it. The way I would describe it, it's Call of Duty meets Overwatch. It's an arena kind of hero shooter with more old school Call of Duty feel. I would say it's Call of Duty 4 meets Overwatch specifically. Has the Ubisoft properties, so you can play as characters from Far Cry or factions from Far Cry, The Division, Splinter Cell, Ghost Recon. And honestly, I've been having a lot of fun with it. It's not a perfect game by any means, but it's a free-to-play shooter. It scratches an itch that, sometimes I would like to have scratched.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's just been really fun playing with, a group of friends who play those games, and I don't have to spend $60 or $70.
Yeah.
It's always nice spending money.
Shout out to Pat Watson. I played with him. That was really fun. It's just playing with some friends that I hadn't played games with in a while, and it was really nice. So,
Nice.
Plus I like The Division. I like some of those Ubisoft properties.
Are you sure?
So.
Is it third person?
No, it's first person.
Oh.
But you can play as the cleaners, which are the flamethrower dudes from the Division. Which is kind of fun. I mean, you use normal weapons, but they have like different passives. Their passives are like all of your rounds are incendiary rounds.
Oh.
It's pretty cool. They're high damage dealers. Nice. So, fun game though. If you're bored and want to play a Call of Duty-esque shooter, which I wouldn't expect either of you two to play, you could.
Hey, speaking of playing a Call of Duty-esque thing, Halo Infinite had a Call of Duty Zombies mode.
I need to get on there
that
and try
they
it
built
with you.
in Forge, which is pretty fun.
I need to try it with
It's
you.
definitely...
I'm not a huge zombies guy.
It's definitely not. It doesn't really feel like...
You're just fighting the banished, aren't you?
I mean, it's mostly elites and brutes that are just slow walking at you.
That's kind of funny, though.
But it is. It's amazing how well it works.
They didn't use the Flood?
They don't have the Flood.
In the Forge.
In Infinite.
Oh.
They have
and that's why
some
it's
assets, but
they have flood.
Environmental assets.
Environmental and armor things.
Yeah.
But they don't have flood
Enemies.
Characters in the game at all, in like the campaign.
Maybe
Spoiler
if they
alert, I guess.
Maybe if they ever add the Flood, they can add the Flood into zombies. Then it'll probably feel a little more like zombies.
It would be. It would feel a little more like zombies. I agree.
I'm just picturing an elite just
slow walking at you.
With a sword, yep, that is what it is.
That's funny.
I'm gonna
But then
get
they get close to you and they attack you, and you're like, oh shoot.
They have an energy sword. Does it one shot you?
No, it's like a two hit.
They don't bite you.
They do. They do have the fast running brutes though.
Wart.
There'll be some that come in and they go.
Can you knock them down and they crawl or
no?
No crawlers.
No crawlers.
That's pretty much all I've done though. I'm still playing Hellblade 1. Like I haven't spent much time on it, but I'm through
You've been busy.
I'm through the Sea of Corpses.
Ooh.
So I'm in the maze with Fenrir right now.
Nice. Is that where it's super dark?
Let's go.
Well, no, that's one of the
Go
trials, but it is
it.
dark. You have a torch.
Okay, yeah.
And anytime you're in the shadows, Fenrir can try to get you.
I'm gonna
Nom
get you.
nom. Nom
I'm
nom.
gonna get you.
It's like the fastest you can run ever in the game, so that's kind of fun. You're like, "Ee!" But the Sea of Corpses was fine. I mean, it's the most combat heavy portion of the game, so that's kind of neat.
Nice.
Yeah, that's it.
Luke, you want to jump off that?
I can. I have a lot to talk about.
I don't have anything else to talk about.
Okay.
We did yard work.
We did yard work.
Well, you're playing Hellblade 1. I played and beat Hellblade 2.
Nice.
I sat down Saturday and started it, and I played it all the way through. That was kind of my intent, was to
get it in
find
one
a
shot.
block of time where I could just play straight through it. Because it is a cinematic game. And I didn't want to be interrupted. Ironically, I was, because my power went out. But it is such a beautiful game, man. It's also very fun. But I want to talk about this first. It might be, and I say might because I just, I can never remember other games I've played. But currently in my mind, it's the best looking game I've ever played. Like the graphics are so good. The lighting is amazing. And just the way it all comes together, it looks so real. And it's so impressive. It's made in Unreal Engine 5.
Yep. It's like the first big one.
Yeah.
Outside of like Fortnite.
That and Immortals of Avium. That was Unreal Engine 5. But the scale is a lot less on this one. It's a very short game.
Yeah.
I beat it in under 7 hours. I would say the first Hellblade story is better.
That's pretty common in what I've heard.
Yeah, but this story is still very, very good. Honestly, probably my favorite part about the entire thing is they got rid of the permadeath mechanic.
That isn't real.
You don't have the rot anymore. You solve that issue in the first game.
Yeah.
Now if you die, you just pretty much start immediately where you were. It autosaves like every 30 seconds, I feel like. It's super nice.
Yeah, the rot thing is so funny because, like, they've come out and said like, yeah, like you could die a million times, they won't permadeath you. We just said that as it raises the stakes kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's interesting.
But yeah, the whole mental health and psychosis bit of both games, I think is so well done. And it's really cool to play a game that is willing to go into those places and talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get that a whole lot, especially in AAAs.
Yeah.
AA? AAA?
This is probably a double.
I would say I'd probably
AA?
put this in the AA arena.
But we'll say not an indie.
Yeah, not an indie for sure.
And for them to like just even put it out there and talk about it, and since neither of you guys have played it, I won't really go into it.
I'm hoping to play it.
But a lot of it is kind of dealing with what she has done, but also things that have been done to her, mainly like by her father and her parents.
And they allude to that quite a bit in the first one too. So,
but man, just like going on that journey with Senua it's really emotionally intense. By the time you get to the end and it's over and credits are rolling, you're just like, oh man, I need a break from everything and I need some levity. I really hope we can get a third one. I am actually very nervous that this will just be the end of it. I don't think Ninja Theory will get shut down.
No, they've already had 2 new games greenlit that they're in development on.
But I'd love to see what else they can make, but I want to see what else they can do with this, because this game is so unique, not just in what it's saying, but I think in how the story is told. It is like watching a movie, and I know a lot of people don't like that.
Did you do the auto combat?
No.
There's an auto combat feature. You can just turn it on; it'll do the fights for you.
Honestly, super cool. I did not know that.
Yeah,
I think that's awesome.
The other thing I've heard is, if you play it a second time, you'll have a different narrator.
Yeah, you can choose.
Yeah.
You get companions through the game, and you can choose
who narrates
and change it to whoever you want.
Throughout or just after?
I think throughout.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
That's the message they gave me. It's like, oh, I can change it whenever I want.
That's pretty cool. For a game that doesn't give any messages in the first one, that's cool that they at least give you one.
Yeah. The other thing that I think is just super cool, because no games do it, maybe Dead Space? No HUD.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, nothing on screen. I was hiding under a rock, and I was just kind of waiting there, pushing forward, and I was like, I don't know what to do. Eventually, I hit B, because that's the interact button, and I pushed something out of the way, and I kept going. I was like, got it. I have to hit B. It was right at the beginning. But, like, they don't give you any clues to what you should be doing. Just kind of have to go on the journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Combat, I don't remember combat in the first one. They said they changed something.
They made it more cinematic.
Okay. It's super cool.
Yeah.
Like, a dude will come up and you fight them one-on-one. And every time you defeat them, there's this, like, mini movie transition into the next person. And your characters, like, interact with each other, and they'll talk to each other. They're like, look out! And you'll duck, and somebody will swing an axe over you and get somebody that was sneaking up behind you, and then you'll go fight somebody else. I think it's super cool. It's super immersive.
Yeah.
And, like, I felt like I was watching a 7-hour movie, but still controlling it.
Yeah.
And what am I?
Bad at video games?
I'm bad at video games. So my fights take a little longer a lot of times, and it's not like, oh, I'm dying. It's just like, I'm not confident in my parrying and dodging skills, that I'm just like waiting and I'm holding blocks. I was like, okay, I just want to figure out what's going on here. So my fights kind of get less cinematic because I'm just taking so long, because I feel like it's supposed to be block, get him, next person,
Oh, yeah.
block, dodge, attack, block, get him, next person. And mine is like way longer. Like, it takes a long time.
So I've heard, one of the things I've heard, and this may be something you like about it, but I've heard it's a complaint, is that in the puzzling, in the first game, like, you really did need to look a little bit. Like, I've heard some people say that the camera will snap to the solution before you even see it. So, like, I was listening to some reviews, and they were saying that the puzzling is even easier in this one than the first one.
I didn't get that at all.
Okay.
I didn't get any snapping.
Yeah, like the guy was saying, he was like, I didn't even see the solution. I just happened to hit focus and it snapped me in because I was looking in the general area.
Yeah.
I guess for lining up the symbols, yeah, kind of.
It's not as...
But lining up the symbols isn't the hard part, it's getting there.
Yeah.
Like, you have to, like, change your environment to walk through walls and stuff.
Right.
Like, that's the puzzle
That's
to me.
the puzzle, yeah. It's not the runes or whatever.
It's getting into the room, not unlocking
the door.
Yeah. Or...
It's being in the room, it's not the door.
It's unlocking the door, it's not washing the dishes. I don't know. That's a terrible analogy, but I don't know. It's...
I've just heard multiple outlets say that it's a little easier.
I thought the puzzles were great.
Cool.
I thought they were all different based on like the 6 different chapters you're in. And then, combat sections every once in a while. The last great thing about it, the girl who plays Senua.
Melina Juergens?
Yes, she's fantastic.
Yeah.
She was great in the first game. She's great in this one. I want to see her do her third one because she's awesome. The entire cast is great, but obviously she's the main character, and she just does a fantastic job. So shout out to her.
I've heard she'll probably win some awards this winter.
She will most definitely be nominated.
Yeah.
Like, that feels like a given. Obviously, I mean, I couldn't say that because not everything has come out. And you just don't know what's going to be there, but...
Yeah, something could surprise us, but...
But the bar is pretty high with her, yeah.
But, cool. Yeah. I give it a fanboy worthy.
Nice.
I think I would give the first one a fanboy worthy, too. If you like the first one, I think you'll really like this one. It's a great story. It does not take a long time to beat.
Appreciate that.
If you want it to be even shorter, you can make it easier. I didn't change the difficulty at all. It's just defaulted to dynamic, which I think is, if you're struggling, it makes it easier for you.
Oh.
Which I appreciate.
Yeah.
It's a game made for me. But yeah, great stuff.
Sweet.
Nice.
Side note, more short video games.
Yes.
Like, this was only, I think my finished game time was 6:57, so under 7.
Yeah.
And we already established multiple times I'm bad at video games. So I think people could do it even faster than I can.
Yeah.
7 to 15, I think is just perfect for your narrative-driven games.
Absolutely.
There's no reason to do anything more than that. But yeah, great game.
Sweet.
Nice.
I do have 2 shows.
Oh,
3 shows. 2.5 shows.
Luke's been busy.
I'll do this one real quick. I watched the first 2 episodes of season 2 of My Adventures with Superman.
I was hoping to do that today and couldn't get to it.
It was great. I love that show. Nothing really more to say on that until it's over. I finished The Sympathizer. That show is completed. It was fantastic. It's so refreshing and interesting to see the Vietnam War portrayed from not just the Vietnam side, but the communist side as well. And just to see how they saw everything.
Yeah.
Fantastic show. It's on HBO. It's 7 episodes. Watch it. The last thing that I did, I watched X-Men 97 on Disney Plus. Right. Boy, howdy, let me tell you, this show freaking rocks. Dude, like, I've never been the biggest X-Men fan in general. I was 1 year old when the show came out originally. I mean, plus it was the same time as Batman the Animated Series, and I was probably watching Batman. But I didn't watch the original X-Men animated show. I just kind of went in with this new legacy version.
Yeah.
It's so good. I can't recommend it enough. It's a booyah. The animation is great. The voice acting is great. The action is awesome. they make Cyclops the coolest version, or the coolest character in, like, the first 10 seconds of the show.
Nice.
And, like, the only version of Cyclops I've ever known is the Bryan Singer version. In the live-action movies.
James Marsden.
Yeah. It's like, oh, he's just a dude who shoots stuff out of his eyes.
He's just
woe is me. I
jealous
can't really see with my real eyes. Dude, Cyclops was awesome in the show. He's doing the coolest stuff. I freaking loved it. I binged the crap out of this thing, man. I got addicted to it real quick.
Nice.
Forge is in it.
Oh, sweet.
So he's not in it a ton, but he's in it.
But he's in it.
And I know
he's a cool character.
You've been wanting to see him be in it. But
in anything X-Men.
Let's
do Forge.
I'm freaking amped for season 2 of this. It's going to be so cool. I freaking loved it.
Sweet.
Is that everything I did?
Dude, that's a ton. But that's awesome.
I had a busy week.
That's great.
Yeah, you put in work.
Yeah.
Glad he did. I didn't. I played some of the Halo stuff, and then the new season of Apex. Dabbled around that with a new hero.
I have to finish all my stuff before the final shake comes out.
That's true. You do have like hard deadlines.
Oh, there. That is that soon, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's next week.
Oh,
crazy.
Can't wait to go to work on Tuesday and
just be miserable.
just ignore all of social media. They don't have it ruined for me. Gosh,
sorry, Luke. Sorry.
I'll be all right. I'm an adult. I can take it. And if it's spoiled, it's whatever.
You'll be fine. But yeah, no,
you'll still get to experience it.
Yeah. Maybe it'll be spoiled that it sucks, and then I'll be like, oh, it sucks apparently, and then I can just go play it.
And then you'll have fun
at
because
your leisure,
you don't have any expectations.
Yeah.
They're all. No, that makes sense.
I think it's actually going to be really good though. Everything's looking real good right now.
The last 2 Vidocs have been. They're a little on the short side. I feel like it was 1 Vidoc split into 2.
Absolutely. They got to spread everything out.
Yeah. But good messaging, at least. Good stuff. So
I'm excited.
Yeah. Sweet.
All right.
Sweet.
I think that wraps it up here for us tonight. Thank you all for watching live on Twitch. Or if you good over there,
if
Tyler?
you didn't watch live
dozing off.
If you didn't watch live on Twitch, you may have seen the show on YouTube or in your podcast feed, and we love that too. No matter how you digest us. Yep, I said that. Until next week, we'll see you.
Goodbye.